My phone hasn't rung for 3 weeks straight, and that silence cuts deeper than any argument ever could. My children live just one city over, close enough to visit, but far enough to forget me completely. My grandchildren are growing up without knowing their grandfather's voice, and that thought keeps me awake at night. For months, I tortured myself with the same question. What terrible thing did I do wrong? Then something clicked in my mind. A painful realization that changed everything I thought I knew about family. What I'm about to share isn't a complaint or a sob story. It's brutal honesty about modern families. This exact scenario plays out in millions of homes worldwide, yet nobody talks openly about this epidemic. We pretend everything's fine while our hearts break a little more each passing day without contact. The distance between generations doesn't appear overnight. It creeps in slowly, like fog rolling over mountains. It starts innocently enough. Weekly phone calls become monthly check-ins. Nothing seems alarming at first. Those monthly conversations gradually shift to holiday-only exchanges, and you convince yourself that's still normal. Eventually, even Christmas and birthdays pass in complete silence, leaving you staring at a phone that never rings. Parents automatically blame their children for being selfish, ungrateful, too busy with their own complicated lives. Meanwhile, adult children justify their absence by citing overwhelming work schedules and endless daily responsibilities. But nobody wants to speak the uncomfortable truth that's sitting right there in plain sight. I remember the exact moment my world shifted. It was my 72nd birthday last spring. I spent the entire day positioned near my phone, ears straining for any sound, any sign of remembrance. Evening arrived with nothing but silence, and I finally understood that waiting wasn't going to fix anything. The painful truth hit me like a physical blow. This disconnection wasn't happening to me. I participated in creating it. Let me share 3 brutal reasons why our children stop calling, and one might surprise you completely. First reason cuts deep because it represents our success as parents, twisted into something that hurts us. We raised our children to be strong, independent, self-reliant people who could survive without constant parental guidance. Mission accomplished. They became exactly what we hoped for, completely capable of living without needing us daily. We celebrated their independence when they were young, but weren't prepared for how lonely success would feel. The irony stings. We succeeded so well at our job that we worked ourselves out of having one. Second reason involves accumulated resentments that built up slowly over decades of family interactions and misunderstandings. Those harsh words we spoke during heated arguments. The cutting criticism disguised as helpful parental concern. The suffocating control we maintained long after they deserved freedom, treating adults like irresponsible teenagers. We called our constant criticism caring guidance, but they experienced it as relentless judgment and disapproval. Children's minds are like recording devices. They remember every harsh word, every dismissive comment, every controlling moment. Even when they don't mention these painful memories, the emotional wounds influence their desire for contact. Third reason might be the most important one, and it's entirely within our power to change. We never learned how to build genuine friendship with our children beyond the basic parent-child authority structure. Our entire relationship was built on roles. We taught lessons, enforced rules, demanded respect, gave instructions. But did we ever become genuinely interesting people they'd want to spend time with, voluntarily? Did we learn about their secret dreams, their deepest fears, their personal struggles as fellow human beings? Were we curious about their inner world, or only concerned with their external behavior and achievements? Here's the hardest truth. Family relationships aren't sustained by blood alone. That's a dangerous myth. Relationships survive and thrive based on daily choice, mutual respect, genuine interest, and authentic connection. Every single day, people decide whether they want you in their lives or not. Family or not. After months of painful silence, I decided to stop waiting and take action, regardless of my wounded pride. My first step required swallowing my ego completely. I called my daughter without expecting anything in return. Instead of launching into my usual complaints about health problems and loneliness, I asked different questions entirely. How are you really doing? What's happening in your world right now? Tell me something interesting about your week. The hardest part was listening without immediately offering unwanted advice or criticism about their choices. I discovered she was struggling with work stress, and I simply listened instead of solving everything for her. For the first time in years, she seemed surprised that I was interested in her life without judgment. My second step was even more difficult. I acknowledged my mistakes without making excuses or justifications. During our next conversation, I said the 3 words that unlock closed doors. I was wrong then. I didn't explain my intentions, didn't justify my past behavior, didn't make it about my own pain. I was too controlling when you were 25. I criticized your boyfriend unfairly. I'm genuinely sorry. Those simple acknowledgments did more to heal our relationship than years of awkward conversations ever could. My third step involved becoming interesting rather than needy, engaging rather than draining to be around. I stopped opening every phone call with organ recitals about my latest medical problems and complaints. Instead, I started learning new things, developing hobbies, creating stories worth sharing with other people. I took up photography, started volunteering at the library, began learning about my grandchildren's favorite video games. Suddenly, I had genuine questions about their lives and interesting updates about my own activities. Children naturally gravitate toward people who are living fully, not those who are merely surviving day by day. The transformation didn't happen overnight like some fairy tale. Real healing takes genuine time and consistent effort. Some resentments run deeper than others, and certain wounds need more time to heal completely than we'd like. But something beautiful started happening. My phone rang on a Tuesday morning, completely unexpectedly. My daughter called just to tell me about something funny that happened at her job that day. No special occasion, no obligation, no guilt. She simply wanted to share a moment of her life. 2 weeks later, my grandson asked if he could visit for the weekend. First time in over 2 years. We spent Saturday morning teaching each other. He showed me his favorite music. I taught him card tricks. The most important lesson I learned: it's never too late to begin again, but we must take the first step. Pride keeps us waiting for apologies we'll never receive, for children to make the first move they might never make. Ego tells us we shouldn't have to be the one to call first. We're the parent. They should respect us. But love requires someone to be brave enough to risk rejection, to make themselves vulnerable first. If your phone sits silent today, don't let anger or hurt pride poison another precious day. Don't spend another evening wondering why your children don't call, while doing nothing to change the situation yourself. Pick up that phone right now and dial their number, even if your hands shake with nervousness. Don't call to complain about their neglect or remind them of their duties as your children. Simply say these powerful words: I was thinking about you today and wanted to hear your voice. Sometimes that simple statement of love is exactly enough to plant seeds for everything to begin growing again. Family relationships can bloom again at any stage of life if someone has courage to water them first.